Hello, welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Thank you for joining me today on Make It Monday. I have a really fun technique for you today using the Stamparatus. Now, you may know I am doing a Stamparatus 101 series, usually on kind of alternate Fridays. And you're going to be thinking, well, why is she doing a Stamparatus video on a Monday? I'm doing it today because it's a really cool technique, but it doesn't fit into my Stamparatus 101 because it's a little bit more detailed. It's a bit more technique-y, I like putting those sorts of things on a Monday. So this is a kind of variation on watercolour stamping, and I'm using the Stamparatus today just because I know I can get the perfect result with this. So I'm going to open up my Stamparatus, and the stamp set I've got for you today is Beautiful Day. I love this stamp set. It's great for colouring, brush-o, Stampin' Blends, watercolour, the lot. It's fabulous. And I'm using this flower stamp and the Happy Birthday sentiment. I'm going to put the stamp case underneath the plate of my Stamparatus just because it's easier to ink up that way. And then I have got the flower stamp. Now, I'm going to pop in my piece of cardstock, and instead of putting it up into the top corner, I tend to put it into the middle but use the lines on the Stamparatus itself to get it lined up. Now, I'm going to pop my magnet on just so that I know that it's not going to move. And I'm going to pop on my flower stamp. I'm going to get it nice and kind of where I want it and pick it up with my Stamparatus. So, how are we going to do this? Watercolour stamping. So, we've done watercolour stamping before. This is a little bit different. So, I'm going to take my Pool Party ink and I'm going to ink up my stamp. Okay. Like that. And that's all Pool Party. I was going to stamp it down now, I would have a blue flower. We should be fine. I'm going to take a baby wipe. I'm just going to just remove some bits of ink. Just because I've got some other light colours. And I've got 3 Stampin' Up markers. I've got Flirty Flamingo, Rich Raspberry and Night of Navy. And I'm going to take the brush end, we've done this before, taking the brush end and just adding the colour onto the stamp with the Stampin' Up marker. Now you can see why I have used the baby wipe, because I've now got some Pool Party on my marker. That's absolutely fine, it will come off. I'm going to take the pumpkin pie, no, Rich Raspberry, and I'm going to add that colour in over the top. Not so fussy about this one because it's a darker marker, so that's okay. And then some Night of Navy to finish off. And just making sure that all of the stamp has some colour on it. I don't think there's anything anywhere that there's no. I think I've managed to get everywhere. So the next thing is a Stampin' Spritzer. Now mine is just full of water, and I am going to spritz across there, and I know that that ink is now quite puddly and it's going to move, which is what I want. And I'm going to swing that round and pop it down onto my cardstock. Now I'm going to sit with my hands over it for a couple of seconds just so that that ink gets nicely into my cardstock. I want that kind of watercolour-y, wishy-washy effect of this. So, lift that off. And look at that. It's a kind of, I think it's almost tie-dye, isn't it? How cool is that? So, while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to pull that magnet back off again and just leave that on a flat surface. It won't take long to dry. It's getting quite close to being dry already. I'm going to take that stamp off and just leave it to one side to dry. Clean off my Stamparatus. I've got baby wipes because I'm naughty, and this one is a bit drier. Yeah, covered in baby wipes at the moment. Not because there's any babies, just because I use a lot of baby wipes for my crafting. Right, dry off my plate with a piece of kitchen paper. like that. And then I have a strip of vellum. Now I'm going to pop this into my Stamparatus and line it up with this edge just so because it's a flat edge, and pop my magnet down it so it won't move. I take my sentiment. Now this is one of the sentiments from the stamp set that says, "Happy birthday, may your day be as beautiful as you are," or as you. Always adding words into sentiments. Get that lined up, and we're going to just take Night of Navy ink, which of course I haven't got to hand because I'm not that organised. So I need my Night of Navy ink, and I also need to haven't got to hand my clear embossing powder. So I'm going to ink up the stamp, and it looks a mess because I've got ink all over it, but it's okay because it's not going to transfer. Just that onto the vellum, and then quickly move this and cover it in the clear embossing powder. Now, the reason I do this is because ink can take a little while to dry on vellum, and I prefer, because it can then smudge, I like to coat it in clear embossing. That way as well, it also gives a really nice effect. So that's my Stamparatus finished with and out of the way. And my phone has just gone off, but I don't know who it was. It's the other side of the room. So I'm now going to take my heat tool and heat set this. So, and I'm going to fast forward you to do it so you can see the effect. Okay, so you can see now how that is a little bit, hopefully it'll catch the light, a little bit shiny. And while I've been doing that, our watercolour piece is dry. So this will sit across here like that, so I can trim off just some of the edges of my vellum, because I had a piece that was far too long. So I'm just going to kind of get that lined up on there like that. Get that happy birthday exactly where I want it. Make sure it's square. And then grab the stylus out of which is now fallen on the floor. You know, sometimes you just it just doesn't work, does it? Right. Stick that back exactly where I want it. And I take my stylus and just score the vellum. Now vellum doesn't take a lot of scoring, just a little bit. There we go. And then you can fold those pieces back like so, and your cardstock will sit in there like that. So what we can do then is take our snail and just put 2 pieces of snail under where that vellum is going to be like that, and there you have your sentiment on your, isn't that really cool? Right, let's just layer up our card to finish. I've got a card base of Pool Party and a mat of Night of Navy. I'm going to put some more snail on the back of our piece of Shimmery White, and my snail has run out. Oh, you know. So Never mind, I have some more snail in the drawer because I wouldn't run out of snail. And actually, I've just had last week a delivery that contained a lot of snail refills. So, snail's dead easy to refill. Take your packaging off. Take the old one out, she says. Okay, so that bit goes in the bin. This bit, okay, will sit and they click back together. Okay, dead easy. And it's ready to go as soon as you've got it in the holder. You actually get more snail tape on a refill than you do on an original roll as well, which I think is quite neat. And there is our fabulous watercolour stamped Make It Monday. Thank you ever so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again next time. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and as always, all the products I use on my videos are available in my online store. Link is in the down bar below. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.